That was fancy as shit. I was not ready for that.
Sorry, my
That was
bad.
cool.
What's up, everybody? It's Jake with the Evolve Your Fitness podcast. And today I have CJ DePalma with WODprep here with me. Talk about a couple of different topics. CJ, you want to talk about yourself a little bit?
No,
No?
not even a little bit. Yeah.
Uh,
I am a physical therapist, father of one 3-year-old, husband, and the head coach of WODprep. I've been with WODprep for 8 years, and I've been a PT for 9. And so I own my own clinic in Pensacola, Florida, called the Movement Doctor. That's how I used to be known as. That was like always my thing, and then kind of just like committed all the way with WODprep. And so that's what I do. I'm the head coach here, and so we do one-on-one coaching and template programming and program design and all the things.
Awesome. Start off with my icebreaker question, which is, are you training today? And if so, what are you doing?
No, I train so little. It's so bad. It's so bad. I did something really cool 2 days ago, which is nice, that didn't involve like bench press and weighted pull-ups, which is pretty much what my training has like been reduced to regularly.
Okay. Well, hit me with that.
300 double unders, 75 GHD sit-ups, and 25 clean and jerks at 155. It was a good one.
Okay. Yeah.
And I'm sore as shit.
Yeah. The 300 double unders in a row is
that was the easiest part. Literally took me the least amount of time by a lot of everything else. Like I'm still 3 minutes and 20 seconds or something like that. I don't know.
Yeah. I guess when you throw in breaks, it's still not going to take that long, especially once you're good at
like pure movement, obviously it's a longer pattern. I don't know. The GHD might be like in just pure, I don't know. It's longer. Yeah, that's definitely the longest like continuous effort. But yeah, it was good.
Awesome. I got well, this is going to sound redundant from last week, but this week I got drag rope double unders and bar muscle ups and an EMOM, and then a little 2 minutes, 20 calorie ski, push the sled down and back. It's like 60 feet, and then max pass throughs, and then rest 2 minutes 5 times.
Max pass throughs?
Yeah, like on the parallettes.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
How
do you do what max to remaining time? Is there a time?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I was like, is that a movement that you could get to failure? I mean, I guess you theoretically could.
Yeah, you kick the shit out of the parallel and break your toe.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
So I mix in those a lot. I know that's not a super common movement for a lot of.
It's hard. I do them for when I do personal. I still do some personal training, and so I'll do them here at the house. I think they're a great movement, especially for like not to like a lower level athlete, just doing some like just coordination and like time under tension, like hip flexors, etc.
Yeah,
it's a tough one.
I like using them for like a trunk flexion movement where usually we'll hit GHDs and toes to bar in a week, but sometimes we've hit our quota for hanging, and so we'll do pass throughs instead, and that makes it a little bit easier on the old shoulder.
Yeah, I like pass throughs as a scale too for toes to bar. That's a good one.
Yeah. So that's what I got today. Well, we'll get into the topic. This topic is very near and dear to my heart because I'm very weak. But
I watched you at Crash. You're not that weak.
It's my worst attribute, I would say. But how weightlifting creates thresholds in workouts that other modalities do not currently, and how this kind of skews the pyramid. I've heard you talk about how for the open, strength is kind of king because it allows you to, there's no skill blockers or anything like that. Strength's the most important thing to I guess succeed. But yeah, do you have any thoughts on this?
I need you to elaborate it more. Like I need you to like walk it out of like exactly what you mean.
So it's very common that we'll do weightlifting movements to the point where the person can't lift it, or it's very hard, or you'll have to take a huge break before you do it. But we don't do things like say a handstand push-up that's so hard it's nearly a 1 rep max, or a weighted muscle up that's so hard that it's nearly a 1 rep max. That it, like, all our gymnastics are for people who are competent, like a 30% effort, 50% effort, and our weightlifting exceeds that a lot, I would say.
I think by definition, that's like a definitional difference, not a implementation difference. Once you add weight to it, it's no longer a gymnastics pattern. It's a weightlifting pattern.
Oh, okay.
Like that's the differing definition, right? Like a weighted double under is moving it away from whatever the fuck you put monostructural, however you define double under. I think double under can be defined a lot of ways, right?
Yeah.
Gymnastics or plyometric or monostructural, depending on how good you are at it. But when you put a weighted rope to it, it's moving itself into a weightlifting pattern. And so for the gymnast, I understand what you're saying 100%, right? We don't do those things in gymnastics. I think for competent athletes, it probably is something that could be done more, but I think the majority of like 95 to 97% of the population they're not good enough at gymnastics to implement that, right? Like they're still working close to their 1RMs if you include proficiency at all in the measurability of like what the movement is in front of you, right? Like even chest to bars or something like that. Like I think they're all there, but yeah, I mean, I think it's definitionally maybe a little different, but that's the definition, right? Is adding external load is weightlifting at that point.
Yeah. Well then I guess just a super deep handstand push-up then, which has no,
Yeah. But I mean, I think they do that, right? That's probably not like consistent with the argument in and of itself, because you see that more often, right? Maybe not very often, but more often in general.
Yeah, somewhat. I don't know. I don't feel like we see it like
I think it just depends on the proficiency of the athlete, because Laura Horvath would say, I fucking see it every competition.
Yeah. No, that's true. Right? I guess, yeah, I just don't think we see anything really that hard on a regular basis the same way. Every single competition, you'll see a max out, and then also usually a workout where the load is the problem.
Right. Sure. Yeah. And I think it's definitely a good thing. I think there's probably a reason for that. I think it's, number one being, like safety. I think adding dynamic, like free floating, swinging dynamic patterns with load to maxes is pretty risky in general, right? I think there's like a point that's just like, I mean, on the same note that someone who can't do a pull-up doing kipping, it's the same thing, right?
Yep. Yeah.
Like it's like, okay, I want you to do 10 muscle ups with 50 pounds on your back, which I don't know, someone can, right? Maybe one or whatever that is. Like where's the risk reward? Kind of like my view on pistols, I suppose, right? Like there is a huge component there. And then
some would argue just with enough graded exposure, they'd be all right.
Yeah, sure. I just think they're dumb. I just think they're dumb. I think from shifting to the pistol thing, I think at least in the concepts of racing, I don't think it's an ideal movement, right? Because it takes a pattern, it makes it harder, and it slows it down, right? And the whole concept of CrossFit is like time. And so if any demand on the movement slows the movement down and keeps the same range of motion, right? It's like mandating the jump up, jump back for the burpee, right? Like when you had to jump up, it was just slower, right? Like it was slower. And then when they allowed them to step, it got faster. Like that was an appropriate progression of the movement. And then 2019, they did that like weird 21-15-9 dumbbell snatch burpee where you had to jump up. And a lot of people did it way slower. And it's like, why would you mandate a degree, right? Like Bo Grunler says, like, don't tell me how to race. I think the pistol sort of comes into that thing. Most of the time it's egregious, and it's no different than a squat pattern. Like the force production, right, and the power is a little higher just from the movement of itself, but it's so much slower than an air squat, right? And so I would say, why not just do a goblet squat or even like a heavy front squat?
I guess at that point, why do any kind of weighted squatting that slows the movement pattern down or anything?
Because of weightlifting, right?
Well, okay, then why go heavier than 95 pounds? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, well, I think we test like the broad bits of strength. But yeah, I mean, I think that's a good argument there too.
Yeah, I mean, I like the pistol because I think it roots out shitty squats. I think people who get by with barely going below parallel and right, just not having really good squats that we're always like, oh, are they low enough? Not. I think it like you never see a good mover have a problem with them, and it's kind of like a yeah. It
I think I look at it sort of as like, is the risk worth the reward in just and of itself because of how, like, very similar to like something like the ring handstand push-up, right? Like, sure, looking at it, it's really cool to do. There's arguably
I
like
don't know if I've ever seen it look really cool ever.
right. Exactly. So on that same note, when the pistol's in the same route, right? When 60 of our top athletes on the planet do Mary and 47 of them are still in their toes, but 25 of them squat double or 2.5 times body weight, right? Like where are we, right? Could they put the time in to do it better? Yes, for sure, right? But because they're going fast, they're going to compensate, right? And to move fast. And so is that risk worth the reward if the majority of the population does it poorly all the time? And so I think there's like, it's just a give and take, right?
Yeah.
If the majority of the population just did them well and some people just complain because they were hard, that's fine. But so many people do them poorly, and it's just because they're not trained, right? I'm not saying that the movement is inherently like bad or dangerous. You'll never hear me say anything is dangerous, right? I do think there's just a point. It's the same reason why like trying to teach a 7-year-old a muscle up that just like it's just nowhere near on their ability level is probably not the right thing to do, right? Like pushing someone to a pistol, like is it going to have the benefit or is it going to take them like over the edge on how their body's responding to stress load?
Yeah. I mean, but I feel like a pistol is a muscle up and a pistol are two totally different effort levels.
But yeah, but you're just looking at it on a spectrum, right?
Yeah.
Like, and how you're applying it to a person.
Yeah.
And so
but on the spectrum then, right, a 600-pound deadlift is not appropriate for a 70-year-old either.
Yeah. But I just didn't want to use deadlift, but you're 100% right. Like the deadlift in and of itself, right, is but with that, right, like the deadlift is also like a truly functional movement, and I don't think the pistol is, just because the pistol has a regression that everyone can do or everyone should do a lot of, which is lunging, right? And so I think single leg work is really, really important. I just don't think the pistol specifically, because of the range of motion demands, is the most effective way to do it. I think that's where it comes down to.
Okay. All right. I can see that. I somewhat agree, but
yeah. But I mean, like we just have like a lot of other options, right? Like box step up, lunge, Bulgarian split squat. You know what I mean? Where like we can still get a lot of single leg influence without having to mandate that. But I mean, I love range of motion work. You know what I mean? I love like requiring a lot of range of motion work too, right? I think it just needs to be done well. And it seems like you guys do it well at your gym, as you've showed me many a times.
Yeah. My only question on that would be like with deadlift, like a traditional switch grip barbell deadlift is really not like a thing you're going to see out in the wild, doing things into your day-to-day life. So you could say by definition, you could do, well, aren't there better deadlifts we could do? All right. There's regressions we could do in deadlifting that would be more functional,
Agreed. But I think that's the nature of weightlifting itself, because the barbell is the most used implement, right? And that's like the same people that argue a back squat is not the best form of squatting, and it's like, well, but it's so much fun and it's kind of awesome. But like for the majority, no one's going to be on your back worrying about a squat, right? Like you would pick them up or you would have to like get out of a chair or whatever it is. So the goblet squat is hands down the most functional. Like it's not even a question, right? In some capacity. Like it just is,
I mean, there's probably times where you actually wedge yourself underneath of something and stand up with it, back squat, like I don't know, you imagine like a movie with a coal mine caving in,
right?
Something like that.
Pulling the like the strongman superhero and like the train, they're like pushing the train back. Yeah, obviously.
Something like that. But I mean, there are very few instances in life where you need to express your strength maximally anyways. But I don't know. I get the barbell back squat thing. I also think it is functional too.
Oh yeah, I mean, I'm not saying back squat. I back squat.
No, yeah.
I try back squat every day, like in some capacity. Like I try to squat with load as often as I can.
Yeah.
I'll always come back to a back squat. Are you drinking a Red Bull on your fitness podcast?
Yeah, sugar-free Red Bull,
Oh
baby.
my God.
It's like my treat.
It's not. It should be anything else. Drink coffee like an adult.
I did. I already had that today too.
Then you should drink it more. Do you know what's
CJ,
in that?
Some of us like to have a lot of caffeine. I know you only have like one cup.
No, I've caffeine right here. Do you know what's in that? I'm not talking about the caffeine. You can consume caffeine. Tell me what's in that. Read the ingredients.
I mean, taurine, all this shit, you know, a bunch of horse shit, but mostly
things that you can't say.
Most importantly, caffeine.
It's only like 82 milligrams, right?
Well, yeah. Well, that's also why it's not like a C4 or something like that with crazy high levels,
dude.
Yeah,
the Celsius world and the rain and C4. I got out of pre-workouts prior to, it was right when Bang came in. I did that for like a few months, and then I was like, man, I'm fucking over stimulants. And I just switched to coffee. So
yeah,
I don't know, whatever, 7 years ago.
So I've never taken a pre-workout.
What?
It just doesn't.
Oh, that's probably a good thing.
You know,
it is a good thing for sure. They're fucking terrible for you.
Red Bull. I mean, I take Red Bull, which is a pre-workout, pretty much. It's a pre-mixed, ready to drink. But yeah, it's I don't know. I love it. You know,
cool.
Anyways, but yeah, I mean, so to get back on that topic, you could, instead of using gymnastics, we could also use monostructural. We don't make people run certain pace. I think it would be awesome if we made people run certain paces.
Yeah, you put stop gates on the pace. Like a beep test or something like that.
Yeah, or something as simple as I mean, well, let me think about some of these athletes, what they do.
Well, you're assuming you're referencing like a Jackie Pro, right? We're like, here, you have to do this workout. You have to finish this piece under this time frame or you can't go on.
Yeah. I don't like it as much on the machines. I don't like machines at all.
Well, that's just, but that's the framework you're looking at is here, you have to run this mile into whatever this is, but your mile has to be like 540 or something like that.
Or just like a 6-minute cap, run 1 mile, max clean and jerks.
Right.
You're going to be hauling ass to get there. And if you can still express yourself at the end of that, awesome. But yeah, I like that. I would like to see.
You just have to know your field. At the games, that's possible in semifinals, but that's the only place it's possible. It's impossible in local and smaller comps because the range of athlete is too big. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yes, 100%. Like a mandated effort in the aerobic is super important. We did a competition a month ago, and so one of the workouts was basically it was 400 cal row, 400 cal bike, and 2 people work at a time, same sex team of 3, 2 people work at a time for completion, but your first 100 calories on the bike were a 50-point score. You had people finishing the 100 calories on the bike in under 2 minutes. Awesome. And it totally blasted them for the workout. No one who won the workout, and it was amazing. Right. A lot of strategy, because then the other way is just all right, big guys are going to win. And then the big guys ended up doing very well. Right. But it wasn't just who is the best on the machines. It's really who took the risk or who didn't. And so I agree 100%. It's good.
That reminds me of this workout I did at a competition way back when. I always thought it was pretty cool, but the fact that I did well on it probably made me think it was a lot cooler than it was. But it was, I don't know, as you and a partner, say you do 150 calories for time on the Echo bike, and then you have 2 barbells. It's one's 165 and one was 115, and you do max snatches in the remaining time. And
the score was load.
No, the score was every snatch took time off of your time on the Echo bike. And it was cool. An interesting. Yeah, you could probably poke holes in it if you really.
The guy we program with Kevin Schutz from Coda for our template track, and he writes stuff like that all the time because they do a comp class, and it makes sense. But when we try to put that shit in a template, people are like, 7 + 4 = 14. I'm just nope.
Yeah.
I'm Kevin, we're not writing this for 60-year-olds. I'm just I'm not going to do this. We're going to score it differently. I love it. And it's competing, right? Because it'll be run a mile and then like max snatches score is mile, every snatch is like -5 seconds or something like that, right?
Yeah.
And
That's
so
complicated for a training day.
it's complicated on a template when people really struggle to how to even just use the app.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, that actually, that whole conversation rolls into another thing that irks me, which is machines in competition. I feel like most of the time, especially when you use it for calories, just becomes like another form of weightlifting. Like it's rowing for calories is just like sumo deadlift high pulls for power.
So then what's the alternative? Do you just row for meters?
Yeah, I mean that's monostructural by definition is meant to cover distance, right?
So then, okay, 100% agree. But then does it not devalue the machine and everyone's going to do the same thing? Because like
Well,
when you row for distance, right, like you don't get the exponential reward,
but
right? And
what?
I understand that's what you're looking for. You're
Yeah,
looking
why
to
should you
avoid
get an
that.
exponential
Right.
reward?
You're looking to avoid that, which I totally
Yeah.
understand, And so the argument is, should they get the exponential reward because their power is higher, right?
Mm-hmm.
Wattage is higher. Or should you even the playing field and just mandate? But the problem is, in my opinion, I think it should be calories because it rewards effort, and that's what CrossFit does. CrossFit's about power and work, raw time, blah, blah, blah. Right. And the problem with distance is every time we see distance, everyone gets off within 3 or 4 seconds of each other. And then it made all of that work irrelevant because everyone's just too smart. Everyone knows that everyone's going to hold, like the ski at Rogue.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone held a 150, right? Or whatever it was, 150, 152. Everyone was off within 5 seconds and it was pointless. Right?
Oh no, 5 seconds is worth it, right? That's if you're going
not
into
in a, I don't think in a workout that was 7 minutes long. I don't think so.
Well, I mean, I don't know what Jeff and
they only beat Colton. You mean Jeff and Pat? They only beat Colton because they knew the time. Colton didn't run. He was just he could have ran. And
but the ski,
he would have won. Yeah, I mean they might have beat him off the ski. I mean they beat
the ski
him
by probably helped him.
Sure. And so, but I don't think again is
so. But you're only looking at time though,
right? That's the only thing you look at, right?
Well, no, because so say Jeff and Colton both ski a 150, right? But Jeff's going to get off there feeling a lot more fresh than Colton.
Right. But I mean, I don't know if that makes a difference like to calories though. Right.
Well, no, but I'm saying part of what you're winning, you're not just winning time, you're winning effort. So maybe Colton is too tired to run back and forth in between bars or whatever. Right. Some of the fatigue, I look at calories. It's the same as being like, hey, this workout has 25 toes to bar, but if you go unbroken, you only have to do 20.
But that's not it. You're still accumulating the work. The calories is just a different form of scoring.
Yeah, but it's exponentially rewarding.
Mm-hmm.
Right. It's more effort.
So that argument, sure, but that argument is like saying that that argument is the same as saying that the back squat workout, right? It's like, oh, well, Colton is like he's being rewarded because his power output is so much lower and his effort is so much lower to do 10 back squats versus Jeff or Jason.
I don't get it. I don't because he's traveling less.
No, because he's just so much fucking better at squatting.
Oh, how did that reward him? I don't get it.
Because it's easier. It's less effort. That's what you just said. That's what you just said about calories, right? So like they still have to do the same amount of work. So it's not 25 to 20, right? Like being unbroken, it would still be 25, but doing it unbroken would assume that it's less effort, which it's not. Right? Unbroken is for sure harder than like 5x5, even if it takes less time. But it rewards staying on the bar longer, doing it in a shorter amount of time, right? And so I think calories does the same thing.
Yeah, but if you take the distance you travel, right, and you make it into calories, okay, if you go harder, you'll get to the calories faster.
Correct. Yeah, distance is way less, 100%.
And distance is the only thing that matters on a monostructural thing, right? Like that's the whole point of it. Like nobody goes and gets in a boat out on the river and goes, I'm going to travel 50 calories downstream.
No, they'll just say, I mean, they will say they'll travel time and then distance is irrelevant, but I do understand what you're saying. It's just a different form of scoring.
Yeah.
You
So I don't know. It's, I mean, you could get really deep into this and say like, I can never find this article, but I know way back when they had an article on CrossFit.com about there was an equation to figure out what your actual speed would be if you weighed a certain amount in the boat. Because if you weigh more, the boat sits lower in the water and it creates more friction. So even like distances based on weight could be different. So.
So yeah, I mean, obviously, I think there's a point there. I think the machines, I think they have a place. I think their place has been heavily increased, especially because we've gone inside, and I think that's the only driver, right? Dave loves to run. Can't fucking run inside of a stadium or inside of an arena.
No, and yeah.
And so maybe I'm hoping that Dave is watching. Yeah, but they're all do the same thing. I mean, unless you're going to put them on like a Versa climber.
Yeah, no.
Or a stair stepper. I mean, those are really the only two. What other machines are there?
No, I mean, sorry. I'm saying like there's more machines available now than there used to be.
Oh,
like,
yeah. Okay.
We used to be, we had a rower and we run.
Right. We had a rower and an assault bike, and that assault bike would fucking break every time they used it because it was such a piece of shit. But Rogue just ran inside and it was fucking sick. And so if you could do that in a hockey arena, right? Like the SAP Center, up the stairs, dude, just fucking like you rope off everything. Oh, it'd be awesome. Like very Berm-esque.
Yeah.
From Carson. That'd be sick.
Yeah. I mean, this is a whole nother topic, and I had it as a backup topic for today, but you've talked about this before, but like you look at the CrossFit Games, it's like an outdoor thing.
Yeah, it is an outdoor thing. It should fucking be an outdoor thing.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I think it adds grit.
It's not even close. It's not even close. Like it should be an outdoor thing. 100%.
Yeah. And it's and actually I think it was John Young brought up like running because they were talking about how that run went at Rogue and how cool it was. And he's like, I don't know if I give it S, because like to me, S would be like running around a castle. And I was like, yeah, he's right. That's pretty cool.
Well, yeah. I didn't watch the tier. I heard it was terrible. I heard it was kind of boring show. I watched the back end of it and I came in about I don't remember what they were talking about. Anyways, that is a good, I mean, that's like a scenery thing, right? It would be, I think S would be running through a castle.
Well, okay, or through a castle.
You know what I mean? It would be around, and I mean, inside was cool. Like the run that everyone hated in 23 because they said it was short or blah whatever. It ran through the RV park in Madison, which was sick. Like you got to just like stand there and like watch them come by. That was awesome.
Yeah.
And so it could be done, right? But it's because it's inside, it just won't be. Like, I mean, there used to be running in like 25% of the games workouts.
Yeah. Well, I think that does add a kind of a special. You think about one of the most iconic workouts ever, and it's technically a running workout.
Whatever you're gonna say, it's outside.
The Capitol. I mean,
yeah, exactly.
And it's super cool.
Yeah, it's amazing
because it mixes in the local scenery and like you won't ever be confused about what city the Capitol happened at because of that running workout.
Yeah, it's amazing.
So
yeah, 100%. I mean, that's one of the best workouts. I mean, it's one of the, for sure, it's arguably the coolest workout that they've ever written, right? Storytelling, insane, right? Monostructural and weightlifting, amazing, right? Great combo, exact pairing that you needed. The distance on the monostructural to make a difference, the weightlifting heavy enough to make a difference, but not be like, it was so balanced. I mean, there's just so many things that were great about that. And the fact that it was outside and then the fucking throughout the city, and Madison's such a cool city. Did you ever go to Madison?
Yeah, it's an hour for me.
Oh yeah.
I went there like 4 times or 5 times. So, but yeah, that just runs through my head I always wonder how we could make the CrossFit Games more spectator friendly. That would make it like just cooler with people who aren't just CrossFitters. and that's one of the ideas. But it also makes me, like, I've talked about this before, but like I feel like just having stuff like more strongman stuff makes it very viewer friendly. Like,
what's the next, like, one of the second most iconic workout?
Strongman Fear.
Yeah, I mean, like, it's like one of the athlete and fan favorites ever, right? Also outside, by the way.
Yeah, no, I like outside. I think it's very cool. I understand why logistically it's a struggle for them to do that, but yeah, I feel like there's just a bunch of little tweaks we could do that actually don't even require, like, I think cut ropes for some reason look really cool compared to even just a straight up legless, because it just looks cool. You like look out, you're like, oh god, they can't, like, it's not even to the ground.
Right.
I think that looks cool. I think of like they can have a sled out there on the floor, and I as a person who's pushed a sled a million times have no idea what they're feeling because of friction, how much weight it is, all that stuff. It's just very different. So if I don't have an idea, a person who just turned on ESPN or whatever has zero clue.
I mean,
right?
Unless there's like 500 pounds on it, you have no idea for sure.
Yeah. Well, in the most cases, they couldn't have pushed it if it was 200 pounds or 500 pounds. It was a lot, you know?
Yeah.
So sometimes I wonder if, like, taking a note from strongman, pushing a car instead of a sled, or pushing something that just looks cooler and much more simple for them to digest would be a good idea. So
yeah, 100%. I think so. But the only challenge with that is, right, is then you get your nerds and the CrossFit haters to be like, oh, look at CrossFit, they're doing a strongman thing and they're hardly doing the women's weights, right? And that's what it would end up being.
Yeah, but I mean, I guess that's true.
I mean, I think it's a dumb thing to say, but that is what they will say without a doubt.
Yeah.
Right? Like, oh, they didn't even. It's like the what did I watch yesterday? Arnold, they did a jerk max for the strongman, like behind the neck max overhead, and
behind the neck.
Yeah, it was cool. Yeah, I mean, it was just shoulder to overhead in any way possible, but a lot of them went behind the neck, like a snatch grip. I mean, like, it started at 200 kilos. Started.
Yeah.
And they were just like push pressing it, like, and
Mm-hmm.
then just dumped it. And I was like, geez.
Yeah, I actually thought a cool thing Rogue could do is have a one crossover event for each, like, so they take a strongman workout.
I think
and
so.
Then they do
They
exact.
Didn't they have that this year?
I don't know, because I didn't pay attention to strongman. It was enough to keep track of the.
I mean, they did the yoke. They did the yoke and the stair. It was just a little bit different.
Yeah, so that, but then also do it the opposite way, where you make a strongman, take one of the CrossFit events and make the strongman do it. And granted, you might do, say you're doing wall balls, you might give them a 40-pound ball and make them do 10 reps instead of a 30-pound ball and 50 reps or something. But I think that would be kind of cool to tie the communities in, and instead of like fighting and being like, no, ours is the best, you'd be like, wow, like, these people do cool shit and we're all part of the same thing.
Yeah. No, for sure. I like that.
But yeah. I don't know. We kind of got off track on our.
I was gonna say, we only talked about like one topic.
Yeah. Well, we jump around so much. I think we can both riff on whatever. It's hard to stay on a single topic, but let me look at this here. Yeah. What ideas do you have that could make it more spectator friendly?
The games?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm a huge fan of being in the elements 100%. It sounds like we're going to the ranch. I think that's a really good idea. Back in the day, they did a fan vote, right? When they did double DT and heavy DT, and they voted, right? That was fucking awesome. And it was like a 24-hour vote. That was really cool. And it takes a lot from the programmer to like implement that. I like new elements, like the few moving a piece of like an object from one place to the other, right? Like the sled is very, very hard to standardize, but everything else usually works out pretty well, like the snail or the pig or sandbags, you know. I like, I really like grit, grind, and getting dirty. Like it just, the thing that we saw a lot back in the day. And if you look at the programming, it's hard to really define of like, was it the programming or was it just we weren't that good? But, you know, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, right? Like those are our heyday years of like what the programming looked like. As far as like difficulty. And I think it needs to be harder. I just don't think it's hard enough. I think the games is hard enough. Hasn't been hard enough in a couple years, maybe since 2020, maybe 21.
You don't think it's hard enough now?
Yeah. I don't think it's hard enough to the athletes. I don't think it's moved with the athletes, and that's not really like to make it more friendly, but everyone knows, right? And so I think that's also the other thing is we've kind of shifted to this point of trying to make sure anyone who, like, as a sport, anyone who watches can follow along. Well, we've tried. No one fucking cares about thruster racing. Only we do. So just market to us. You know what I mean? Market to the people that know exactly what's going on and understand everything that they're doing. And then Chase said this, and I've sort of said this, you know, but it's like the games shouldn't be able to be done in the gym. Like we shouldn't have workouts that you could just throw together in a class, right? No matter how hard it is, right? Now you're going to have one or two. That's okay. We shouldn't have a ton, right? Like you shouldn't have chest to bars, bike and burpees, right? You know what I mean? As like, and you know, you shouldn't have a short run and barbell cycling along with, you know, whatever it is, right? I think you have to have some because we need that like pure couplet, short triplet feel, but for the majority of it shouldn't be able to be done in the gym. It should be inspiring and motivating. Like, wow, if I want to do things like this, I got to like go somewhere or like head to a different thing or find equipment. You know what I mean? I think that's like where the old feel was, right? There was a lot of that stuff, really heavy kettlebells or, you know,
why do you think that's so inspiring?
I think it's just exciting, right? Like if you just look at everything like, oh, I can do all of this, right? Like a bar X athlete can do everything they saw at the games, even if they would have got last place and everything, but they could do all of it. This is like not that inspiring, you know?
Okay. Yeah. I guess I was kind of thinking about like the special implements and stuff like that. Like why, or you know, how you said you can't do it at the gym. Why, what makes that?
I mean, that too. I think it's both of those, right? You know, and I think that's why outside just creates such a different thing. Like you look at the 30 muscle ups for time and it's like, yeah, you could do that in the gym, but you're not doing it on 30-foot straps. Like that's crazy. Like that's such a wild thing, you know? Like you could do the total, but they did it outside on the football field and that's pretty fucking sick. You know what I mean? I just think those things just really add an element, like make it to where like someone sitting in the gym couldn't look to their right and see the same person or see a person do the same exact thing, you know? In some capacity, whatever that looks like.
I think in some instances, just slightly changing the implementation of the things. Like I recently saw I don't know what it was. It was something that popped up on my Instagram, but they were practicing jumping over like a box, but the box wasn't like a normal box. It like it was narrow and then it tapered up to a point and then it was flat on the top. And for some reason, it just looked cooler than jumping on a box that you'd have at any gym. And I just think like little stuff like that can make it seem more of a spectacle without really raising costs or having to have anything wild. I'm trying to think of what else that I was thinking about that was pretty. It's just super simple stuff like that can make it seem special, even though it's not.
Right.
You know.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. So you think it needs to be harder too? I wonder.
I think based on the last couple of years, 100%.
So you think like harder, like Rogue Invitational harder, like
yeah, I think the Rogue Invitational was fine. I think you had one workout that was really hard. I think everything else was fine. And that one workout, a couple people still fucking blasted it. So it wasn't too hard. Just people don't do back squats under fatigue really well. Like anti flexion paired with flexion heavy is really hard,
Mm-hmm.
right? It's really hard. And it was a lot, and they're like, oh, it could have done the same with 3 and 4. And I get it. Yeah. I mean, but, um, I think it was fine. It was a lot, right? But I don't think it was a bad workout. I think it was a really cool workout, right? I
Yeah.
think weightlifting upon weightlifting upon weightlifting with endurance, it's a hard thing to do with like cleverly, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Um, but yeah, if you look at like really from 2020 and before, right? Not including 19, like it wasn't about who's the fastest. It was about who's the most enduring throughout the entire weekend, which is why Rich won,
Mm-hmm.
right? Was because he moved better. He was never really the fastest besides weightlifting, right?
Mm-hmm.
But he just was more efficient and his body just tolerated volume better. And I think that's a better, more robust test than like who's better at doing an 8-minute thruster workout. You know what I mean? Like it's like, okay, I just think I think it should be a combo of like who can come to Sunday and still be upright and moving and having that. And I think that's a really big important, at least at the highest level in our sport.
Okay.
Like when like fatigue and capacity and like recovery really play a role, because it doesn't play a role anywhere else. Nothing's long enough, nothing's hard enough, and that's okay leading up to that point, right? Because like it's just not, the recovery has nothing to do with the open. Recovery has 10% to do with quarterfinals and online semifinals, right? Unless you decide to do the workouts multiple times, right? That's on you, but it's not designed that way. And so the games is designed, if you're going to have 10 workouts, just wasn't enough, right? It should always be 12, 13 for sure. 10 was just too short overall, but it changed from it shifted to true racing, right? Without any blockers and limiters, or we've just gotten better, right? Where like there was always a bottleneck early on, right? And that
Mm-hmm.
probably was more of a byproduct of just the fact that people weren't as good, but that's what made it cool. It's like, okay, who doesn't get bottlenecked? Like who has
Mm-hmm.
all the implements, who has all the skills, and I just don't think we see that as much anymore.
Yeah, I'm a little torn, I guess, on that. It's sometimes I look at some of those old programming and there's a lot of squatting, 1,000 times over again. It seems like I don't know. I feel like the athletes at this point are getting they're so fit that they're almost pushing up against their metrics of durability as well. Like
Mm-hmm.
our durability hasn't caught up to our fitness yet. If
What do
that
you mean?
makes sense. Like it's just these guys can blast the workouts, but and we have to make them harder to make it look challenging for them. But I'm not sure if they're ready to handle all of that inside of a weekend yet. Because they're so fit, can they handle?
Yeah, their body can express more than what it can tolerate.
Yeah,
Yeah, I got it.
exactly.
Yeah, it's coming back from an injury is the same thing, or someone that was really good at CrossFit at one point, and then
Mm-hmm.
he's kind of like not trained volume in a while, but like can still rock like a 210 Fran. Like
Mm-hmm.
you'd be surprised on how many people just like won't do anything and can still be within like, I mean, you might not be surprised, but a lot of people would, like 5 to 10% of their all-time best of like a traditional CrossFit workout, because you just don't forget how to do that.
Oh yeah.
And so, but your body's like, what the fuck was that, dude? And like,
Yeah.
I'm not ready for that. And then you're really fucked. Great example. It's owner of my gym. He was a games athlete in like the 2009 time, and you've been to regionals quite a few times. He's a big dude, but like he can really send a machine, and he can really take himself dark, but he hasn't trained like that in years. And so he'll do class and like he'll bury himself. He'll be out for weeks. And I'm like, Brandon, stop. Like, just don't do that. He's like, I don't know how. I'm like, just don't do it. What do you mean you don't know how? Like, you're like, this is going to happen. Just go into it and like set a governor, but he can still just find it.
Yeah.
I think there's also a mental component too. Like some people just got a really dark mind and they can really push themselves deep, no matter how fit or unfit or peaked or whatever you want to define it they are. Right.
Well, once you're used to dealing with the pain, right, you just have a whole new perspective. Exactly. And that I sometimes wonder if there's a bit of like when you get untrained for the first time in a while, your body actually feels good too. So like you have a little
100%.
You have a little bit more to give on that side of things, but just lacking the
my
overall
chronic
fitness.
achiness is so much. It's just it's like non-existent because I don't train anymore. And so it's yeah, I agree. Yeah, I'm right there with you.
But yeah,
So
it's
100%
hard
right.
to tell what they can handle. It's just I feel like we're in a lot of uncharted territory. Dallin's brush with rhabdo or whatever it is, right?
I
Kind of
side
shows
note,
that.
my one of my good friends is a attending nephrologist, like really high up in the army. And you should hear him. He's just like a grunt. And just like a grumpy old dude. But he's like, no one knows anything that they're talking about, and he didn't have rhabs. He didn't have anything of like that. Just because his kidney levels like none of that is actually the case. Like it's like saying that someone ruptured their hamstring, right, when it was just like, I don't know, like what you would know is like the lightest strain ever is the same case, right? Like
Okay.
he didn't. And so anyways, I don't go into it, but like they just use these terms, right? Like, oh, I tore my hamstring. It's like, dude, that could mean like it hurts to bend over like a 1 out of 10, or it could mean that like your ass doesn't connect to your knee anymore. And so it's like, there's a huge range there. And he watched my podcast with Matt Torres. He called me, he texted me yelling at me. He goes, "You don't know what you're talking about." I'm like, "Don't yell at me. I know you're smarter than I am. I get it." And I was like, "I'm just using the terminology." It's like, just watch the whole thing before you get grumpy. But anyways, but yes, sorry, continue.
No, that's good. I mean, that's why I refer to it as this brush with rhabdo, because I don't really know. I'm not a doctor. I'm not going to make any speculation on any of that stuff, but it kind of shows that we are getting into some uncharted territories where what can we handle? I mean, who would have thought the guy who's like the best at the Echo bike, you're like, yeah, you know what's really going to wreck this guy? 50 calories on the Echo bike, you know.
Right. And so I also think his specific situation is why we won't see it again.
Oh yeah,
that would one's going back. No one's going back.
To 50.
No. To W, like adding in an entire other season within your season. That shit's done.
Yeah, I don't know. That gets complicated. I'm not sure on all that. I just kind of
watch. Did you watch the end of Spin last night when I brought up the question, how many people don't accept their pro card?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like it seems to be a very dark time for them right now. That's things are challenging. It's I don't know what to say about all of it.
You don't have to be PC with me, but it's your podcast, so I won't push.
No, I mean it looks bad, and it's funny because when they first started up, you kind of everybody got a chip on their shoulder because it felt like they entered the space wrong, I guess, in a way that like felt dirty, right?
It did. That's exactly what happened.
Yeah, but now that they're that it feels like they might be hitting their downfall, you almost feel bad.
Like, no, I don't. And the reason why I don't is because they knew what they were doing, and they like tried to capitalize just like everyone did. Right now that I'm using your podcast for my views.
That's all right. That's what I have you on here for.
And they tried to capitalize on CrossFit and leverage CrossFit's struggling times to grow their own image, message, opinion, whatever, right? Just the same with athletes and influencers in the space that were gone, and now everyone's back. Every single one.
Yeah.
And so same thing. I don't feel any remorse for anyone. All of this conversation and your gym and my livelihood and your livelihood are all on the back of CrossFit. No matter what you want to say, or if it doesn't influence your business or anything, whatever the gym owner wants to say, I don't need CrossFit to be successful. It's like, you don't now.
Oh yeah. They totally do.
But you did, right? And you might not now. And there's a lot of gyms out there that like, if CrossFit went away, their gym would be fine. They would have 500 members or whatever. It would be fine. It would look different in 5 years, right?
It's slowly erode. I feel like not necessarily eroding members, but
the
methodology,
like how we know it now would erode 100%, right? And so, but before that, like, you wouldn't be here. Like you wouldn't, like, this wouldn't exist. I would be in a clinic with khaki pants on and a polo, moving a knee, measuring a goniometer on like a knee replacement patient that's going to go rip darts all afternoon and wonder why her knee doesn't get better.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so, you know, and it's like, I just think people, you spelled WODprep wrong. Well, I just realized that it's capital WOD. That's all right. You can fix later.
Small W, big O,
capital
OD.
WOD.
Oh,
Capital
yeah.
WOD and then small
I'm
ED.
fucking with you.
Oh my gosh.
I just typed it in. It's weird.
Ben would murder me. But yeah, I mean, you've heard me say it, like, it's just, there's a loyalty aspect to it, man. It's like, this only exists because of CrossFit. No matter how much you hate it or whatever, like, you can't turn your back on it. And we just can't.
No, I don't think, I've talked to a lot of people about whether you can separate the sport from the methodology.
No, I think it'd be a really bad idea. I just think it would be a bad idea at this point. I think they support each other a lot.
Yeah, the one hand washes the other. I think it's
100%.
One is the pinnacle and the highest expression, and it's I don't know, motivating and whatever, and is like kind of validation, right? Because I almost think like fortunately fitness really just means we're building badasses, right? Like that's the biggest thing. You could do a lot of the health and fitness side of things by doing other things in a normal gym.
Yeah, everything is great. Like, all the other things are great.
Mm-hmm.
But CrossFit's different, right? Because of the rooted methodology, the influence in nutrition, and because we have this really thing at the top, and it's really cool to watch. And like, nothing else has that.
Yeah.
Right. Like, none of these other niche fitness things do this, right? Like, the only other arguing point is bodybuilding, and like, bodybuilding at the highest level is like the most unhealthy of everything, but they know it, right? Like, I mean, public use of steroids and like cutting and the nutrition craziness and the weight gains and losses, like it in and of itself and competing is inherently not healthy at all.
Yeah.
And so it's yeah, I mean, yeah, it's different.
I think the saddest part is that we don't see often enough the guys or the people who exit CrossFit competition and get back into the health side of things and kind of create a full circle moment. We just don't seem to see it as much as I would like to see it.
What do you mean? Oh, like that did like just a person that did the compete thing and then they backed off and now they just do it to look good naked and look.
Yeah, like I still love CrossFit. I've totally changed my goals. I do one workout a day. I get in with the class. I own a gym or whatever. And maybe not even, that would be even better. I don't own a gym and I still just go to the class. And yeah, I go there and kick ass, but I'm not the same as what I used to be. But I love this thing. I would love to see more of that, because I think that could also show people how it can still be the healthiest thing in your life or something like that,
Yeah, it is. It's
the
best thing.
Yeah, no, I mean, I love it. I used to train a lot more than I do now, and now I do whatever the class does, and I find that to be a blast. So
I'm so sad about it. I want to do more. I'm like, I only train like 90 minutes a week though, maybe
90 minutes a week. Holy crap.
It's
well, you've had, I mean, so other people know. Do you want to go into why that is?
Yeah, I mean, it's the actual 90 minutes a week is purely based on time and like fatherhood requirements and like the way that my day is structured. And but initially it all started because I've had a lot of neurological issues and I've had a couple strokes, and the last one was something that like I came back from fine, but the risk reward of training really hard is kind of like not an option anymore. And so yeah, I mean, I'm pretty restricted on things that I can do. Pretty restricted. I'm restricted heavily on a few things, but I can still train hard. My main issue is just time, right? Like my workload is really high. I coach a lot of athletes. I have a lot of requirements within the company. I'm just like, I'm not a piece of shit dad. I put my kid before, everything. And so, And not to say that people who don't or whatever are a piece of shit, but I've like, you know, I just have a lot of like family requirements at the time, and I just don't train as much as I can. I could train more for sure, but like it's hard because I've never been a just train for health person in general, right? Like it's always been a goal. And so my goal now is aesthetics, right? But because there's not like a defining point of goal, right? It's just harder for me to be motivated to like go in and bury my face for whatever double unders and burpees or something like that, and so it's like when you don't have this need to reach whatever it was, because I tried to be competitive for a long time, and I trained really really hard for a long time. I was never that great, but I was really good at training and putting in the work, and so I don't have that specific goal anymore of being better at CrossFit. So it's hard to motivate at this point, but it's all right. I'm still healthy. My numbers are still fine. Like I'm as lean as I've been in a long time. I just control what I eat a little bit more. I still do fitness. 90 minutes might be an exaggeration. There's definitely weeks where it's way less than 90 minutes, but it's probably like in the 2 hour mark. Cause most of the time I just go in and I hit something, or I go for a 30-minute run or something in that, but it's like never more than 30 minutes. Like I'm never in the gym for 60 minutes at a time.
Yeah. What, I guess that's how come you don't think you can still shoot to be the best at CrossFit that you can be under your current conditions?
Fear. I mean, like I have like a lot of like PTSD of and anxiety of like what happens when I'm redlining and how I feel. Not that there is any actual like physiological issues happening, but yeah, like when I send it, and like say you send it on, I don't know, like even the workout yesterday, right? Like everything within it or whatever, the 375 and 25, right? So like doing clean and jerks or GHG sit-ups, they have like a little bit of inversion. Clean and jerks, like the bar reaches my neck. And so sending it on something like that, legs are really weak, arms are really weak when you're done, all normal physiological responses. But for me, I start like doing like sensory testing and like strength testing in my hands because like my arm feels numb and it's not, but I just have like all of that. And so yeah, it's not a fun thing to go through regularly. I'll do it every now and then, but
do you wear like a heart rate monitor and make sure you don't get too high or anything like that?
I mean, my max heart rate's like 170.
I've never worn a heart rate, so I have zero idea what that even means, to be perfectly honest. But
yeah, it's really low. Like it's really
okay.
Low. Yeah, I mean, everyone you see at the games is like doing workouts in 190. If I'm at 170, like I'm a full red line. And
is that when you were competitive, you're saying, or
no? I mean, that's for sure now.
That's now.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah, I mean, I have like a resting heart rate in like the mid 30s. And so it just doesn't get really high. But anyways, yeah, I do, and I take blood pressure. It's more blood pressure bias than anything, but like there's a lot of factors that come into the role, right? It's like is the risk there, right? Is there a risk? Like it just depends on who you ask, right? And so there's just a lot of unknown of what I'm, humbly speaking, what I'm capable of in my fitness level, and how what happened to me is like I'm fucking a 1 of 1. Like I'm an N of 1 in this situation, because everything that happened and how it happened, at least how we anticipate it happen, does not happen to people like me. And so, which means that something is probably a little off and we don't know what it is. And so like, is the risk there? Was it fitness bias? Was it purely a freak accident, which is what everyone thinks? It's like, okay, so it's like, how do we not make the freak accident happen again? Do I have a massive blood clot in the middle of my neck? I don't know. I haven't had imaging in a while. So like, there's just like all these things, right? Not to like dig into my psyche of managing my own health, but it's to answer your question, there's just a lot of unknown, and I fucking hate not controlling the situation, and I can't control this one. And it drives me insane.
Yeah, no, I get it. I guess, I know I've heard you talk about this situation before, so I know like handstand push-ups and muscle ups, especially, like, make you feel a little funky. But I was thinking, like, I wonder if he just did like banded strict muscle ups, like what we do.
Yeah,
Like,
I mean, like I do it, but it's like, so then it's like, all right, what's the point of doing a movement like that with intensity? Like there's just like points of like,
oh, you're still fucking badass. You probably jump up
yeah,
and
for
do,
sure. Oh yeah, I do. I mean,
you know,
I've 100%, right? Like I do a lot more rope climbs than I used to do. I'm better at rope climbs than I was ever before I got hurt, right? Just because like my grip is better because I do a lot of bodybuilding again. Like my grip went to shit for forever, and so yeah, I mean, I'm much better at toes to bar. I can do toes bar because I did V-ups like every day for a year, and I'm like, oh wow, my toes bar are way way better than they were when I was really fit.
yeah.
So yeah, so it's a give and take. It's all right.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I was just interested in hearing that, because every time I hear people say stuff like that, I want to dig in. As a gym owner, I'm like, oh, wait a second, you could still be really fucking badass. It might not be the way you pictured it 5 years ago, but
Sure.
I mean, if you're doing workouts where you're doing 10, low ring transitions plus the dip with a band, and you're doing that, say you do nasty girls, and you do that all with like a banded low ring transition thing, I could guarantee you could get up and do like 3 strict muscle ups on the high rings, and which is something that but not even 1% of CrossFitters can do.
Right.
So it still makes you, like you
Yeah,
said,
and there's definitely like things I've like kind of gone through, like points where it's like, all right, I'm going to work on a strict ring muscle up, and then something happens, and that my training's just so inconsistent right now that it hasn't played out like that. But that definitely has been like it's ran through my mind at some point.
Yeah, I know something you could really work on.
Tell me.
Fucking pistols, bro.
Pistols, totally. Totally.
Oh man,
Fucking love a pistol.
Well, with that, I suppose we should probably check out. I know you said you had about an hour. We're over it now, but I'll let you go. And I really appreciate you coming on. Hope you had a good time. I always love a good discussion.
Yeah, man.
So, or a good hot take, apparently, as you said the other day, for me on your show. I didn't feel like my takes were that hot, but
well, I think that's what we talked about. I think it's just like a term that was used when we were chatting at Crash, maybe, or maybe before.
Yeah, I mean, I like to look at things from different angles than other people, I guess. But I guess, yeah, maybe it is. Maybe that is a hot take, I suppose.
No, I think hot take's pretty subjective.
Yeah, no, yeah, I don't. I just like to cause the conversation. So
yeah, that's the point, right? That's why we do this. That's why we talk online.
Yeah, exactly.
To nobody.
Well, cool. Well, thanks for coming on, man, and I appreciate it. And thanks to everybody who listened today. And we'll see you next week.